Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Welcome to everybody to our temple, to our Sunday program. Now we have lecture in the spirit of Bhagavad Gita. We are trying to explain something about 9 limbs of devotional service. And we read one verse from Bhagavad Purana, which describes these 9 limbs of devotional service. So it's quite long, this Sanskrit. I just read the translation made by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. 7.5.23, yes, 23. Brahmarat said, hearing and chanting about the transcendental holy name, form, qualities, paraphernalia, and pastimes of Lord Vishnu, remembering them, serving the lotus feet of the Lord, offering Lord respectful worship with 16 types of paraphernalia, offering prayers to the Lord, becoming his servant, considering the Lord one's best friend, and surrendering everything unto him. In other words, serving him with the body, mind, and words. These 9 processes are accepted as pure devotional service. One who has dedicated his life to the service of Krishna through these 9 methods should be understood to be the most learned person, for he has acquired complete knowledge. Om Akyanatimirandasya Kyananjana Salakaya Saksurunmilitam Yanasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So here in Krishna consciousness movement, which is initiated 500 years ago by Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who we worship here on the altar, we perform or practice pure devotional service. And this pure devotional service consists of 9 limbs, which were described in this verse. And there should be some picture. There are 9 small pictures. And there are these persons who are practicing some of the limb of these 9 processes. And the first one is Sravana. And this is there in the left corner up. And hopefully you can see there are 2 persons sitting together. And one is sitting on a throne, is a little bluish. And the other one is sitting facing at him, hands folded. And one who is sitting on the throne is speaking, and the other one is listening. And you see that they don't have much clothes. The sage who is sitting on the throne, he is wearing only 4 directions, as it is said. Because in ancient times in India, the sages, they lived in the forest. They never came to cities or villages, and sometimes they didn't use much clothes. And the other one is using only small clothing which is covering his private parts. He's also renounced from material life. The reason for this is that they don't have bodily conception, where one identifies himself with his material body. But they are on the spiritual platform. And Sravana means hearing. And the person on the left side, he is hearing. And he's hearing about glories of Krishna. This hearing does not mean ordinary hearing that we are listening or hearing mundane topics, but it means that we are hearing topics about Lord Krishna and his activities, his qualities and forms and so on. And this hearing also, it is meditation. It means that the person who is practicing this Sravanam, hearing about Krishna, he concentrates his mind only to hearing and controls his senses, so that his consciousness is completely absorbed hearing these topics, and the mind doesn't divert away from these topics. And it is explained in Bhagavata Purana that if one takes one of these processes of devotional service and follows it in the right way, then he can attain perfection of the human life. So what is the perfection of human life? On the material platform, we may think that we get good education, we get good wealth and position, and maybe family life, or at least girlfriend, and some love and health and satisfaction. This is maybe okay. We don't say that there is something wrong, but in one point it ends, unfortunately. It ends at least when we leave this body. And who is leaving the body? It is the soul. Because the soul is eternal. So we are all eternal spirit souls. Although we do not know it yet, but it is revealed in these Vedic scriptures. And the great sages, they tell that also to us. So these material goals, they are temporary and they end in one point. And when we end this our material body, then after that we have to accept another body in this material world, which is relatively better or worse than our present body. All this information we can learn from Bhagavad Gita and Puranas and some other parts of Vedic scriptures. So therefore, the real goal of human life is to quit this repetition of birth and death in this material world and attain spiritual world. And therefore, we are practicing this Krishna consciousness. Actually, we don't have any material goal, but we have this spiritual goal to attain spiritual perfection, realization that we are a spirit soul, and attain eternal life and eternal happiness. So this person he is hearing is Maharaj Pariksit, and he has a very interesting story behind, because he was an emperor of Hastinapura. Hastinapura was somewhere there where is now New Delhi, long ago. And he was a great man. Once he was hunting in the forest. And then when he became thirsty, he went to see one sage who was living there in his hut. But that sage, he was in meditation. So he didn't receive or notice even that this great emperor has come to his hermitage. He didn't offer him any respect or reception. And therefore, this Maharaj Pariksit, he was a little hurted about this behavior. And he, somehow or other, he found a dead snake and he put this on the neck of the sage. And then he left. And the son of the sage, he became very angry at this behavior of the king, and then he cursed him. He launched the curse that this king will die after 7 days by a bite of a snake. And when this sage who was meditating came back to his external consciousness and heard what has happened, he was very sorry about the behavior of his son. He didn't mind so much about the behavior of the king, but he said to his son that this was not proper to make such a curse against such a great person. And then they sent a message to king that this has happened. So Maharaj Pariksit, still he very peacefully received this message, and he decided to resign from his worldly duties and went to the bank of river Ganga to do meditation. And many sages came there to see him. And then he asked them that what he actually should do in this situation when he knows that he will die soon. So they didn't know exactly, tell him what is the best way. And then this Sukadeva Goswami, who is in this picture speaking to him, he came to that spot, and everybody accepted him as the guru who can instruct Maharaj Pariksit and instruct also everybody else there assembled. So then this Sukadeva Goswami, he started to narrate the pastimes of Lord Krishna. And Maharaj Pariksit was very attentively hearing this narration. So this is the first limb of devotional service. It is Sravanam, hearing, and the next one is Kirtanam. And now this person who is speaking, this Sukadeva Goswami, he is performing Kirtanam. Kirtanam means glorifying. It means that we glorify Krishna by our words. Now we, of course, again, we know that we can glorify many things, many persons in this world. But this, because this is linear devotional service, it means that we glorify Krishna and no one else. And we glorify his pastime, his qualities, and his forms, and so on. And all this information we get from Puranas, his sacred scriptures. And this is again the same thing, that person who is glorifying Krishna, performing this kirtana, is doing it attentively, means that his mind doesn't divert from the topic, and he controls his senses. It is also meditation. We will see that all these 9 limbs, they are also meditation, where this control of the senses and mind are required. And this Sukadeva Goswami is also an interesting person, because he was the son of Vyasadeva. And Vyasadeva means the editor of Vedic scriptures. He has written these Puranas. And he had one son that was Sukadeva Goswami, and he taught his son all these Vedic literatures, especially this Bhagavata Purana. And Sukadeva Goswami was completely self-realized person. He didn't have any mundane conception, bodily conception at all. He had realized that he is a spirit soul, And he came to this meeting and started to narrate these pastimes of Lord Krishna. So these are the two first limbs of devotional service, Saravanam and Kirtanam. And as you know, everybody can do it. Everybody can engage oneself in this Saravanam, Kirtanam, hearing about Krishna and glorifying Him. And then we go to next picture, and third person. It is the second one from the left up, and it is Smarana. Actually, it is Sravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam. They are all like together. Smarana means remembering. And there is one verse in Padma Purana. Let's see how it goes. Smartavya satatam Vishnu, Vismartavya nachatuchi. It means that always remember Lord Vishnu, never forget Lord Vishnu. This is Smarana. If you have something to remember, that is Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. And if we have something to forget, these are all mundane things, but not Lord Vishnu. And this actually means that smarana, that we can do meditation when we meditate on Lord Vishnu's pastimes, Lord Krishna's pastimes, for example, or we meditate on his form. Especially great yogis, they sit in the Himalaya mountains and they are meditating on the form of Lord Vishnu, starting the meditation from his lotus feet, ending up to his lotus face. So now we may think that, okay, that's easy, I do it in 5 minutes. But actually they have dedicated their whole life to this meditation. When they have started this meditation, they have started from lotus feet. And when they end the meditation after 100 years or 1000 years, they are in the lotus phase. So this takes lifetime or many lifetimes to meditate on Lotus Vishnu's form. And of course they become self-realized persons. They are completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness by meditating Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. And the person here in this picture, actually, it is little surprising they have chosen somebody who has made these pictures. He or she has chosen here this Mirabai. Mirabai, she was a great devotee of Lord Krishna about 500 years ago. And she was famous this Smaranam, means meditating on Lord Krishna and Lord Krishna's pastimes. And also his life is very interesting. She was a daughter of Rajasthan king, Rajput king. And she was married more or less against her will to another prince who later became a king of another Rajput kingdom. And his husband and all the relatives there, they were Shaktas, which means they worship Lord Goddess Durga. And Mirabai, anyway, she couldn't give up the worship of Lord Krishna. And this way she has some conflict with all his relatives. And later on, when her husband died on the battlefield, she didn't want to continue in this kingdom as a queen. But she quitted everything and left this kingdom for Vrindavan, holy city, where he lived her rest of her life. And she was famous. Her songs and poems where she glorified Lord Krishna. She was using this veena instrument when she was singing the glories of Lord Krishna. And she was so famous that was it Mughal or Turk emperor at that time also came to see him. Mughal or Turk emperor of North India came to see her and was fascinating about her devotion. According to legend, she later on left Vrindavan for Dwaraka and left her body there in front of Dwaraka beach, which is one of the famous deities of Dwaraka of North India. So this is Smarana, remembering. We remember Krishna, his pastimes and forms and qualities and so on. And in this way, we can also attain perfection in Krishna consciousness. Usually they use another person as an example of Smarana. And this is Prahlad Maharaj. And he was, those who do not know so well about Bhagavad Purana, he was the son of Hiranyakasipu, who was a great demon. And Prahlad Maharaj also was a devotee of Lord Krishna, and his father didn't accept that. And he tried to pressurize his son to give up this worship. And so much so that he ordered his soldiers to kill and torture Prahlad Maharaj because he didn't give up his worship for Lord Krishna. But Prahlad Maharaj was always absorbed in Smarana, remembering Lord Krishna, and therefore Lord Krishna protected him. And finally, Lord Vishnu appeared as Lord Krisingade, who killed this great demon, Hiranyakasipu. So then we go to third picture in the middle, up there. There is again a mystical person doing something. And this is a story from Chaitanya Charitamrita. And this process is oh, sorry, I made a mistake. Now I have to correct a little bit what I said. This Mirabai, he was performing kirtana. And this Maharaj Pariksit, in the first picture, he was performing this Sravanam and Mirabai Kirtanam. But actually this Sukadeva Goswami also in this picture. He was performing kirtana. So there are two persons doing kirtana. And this Mirabai, he was doing kirtana, but because there is not big difference between kirtana and smarana. So actually, he did both, we can say. But officially now this third person, third picture from the left up. The spiritual master, guru, and the disciple. There is only one relationship. We know what is that. It is a relationship between father and son or daughter. there is no any other relationship as far as the Guru is genuine follower of Vedic culture and rules and regulations. So he made this girl as his disciple, but he wanted to leave this place. And he told that girl that you go now to distribute all your wealth to the brahmanas, and you shave your head, and then you wear only one white cloth. And you live in this hermitage, and you chant this Hare Krishna mantra day and night before the Tulsi plant. And then, after initiating his disciple like this, he left that place. And of course, this was great victory to Haridas Thakur. And it was great loss to past wealthy landowner who later on he got some reactions from this offense against this great sage Haridas Thakur. And in this picture, this girl is then doing this Hare Krishna mantra meditation with his beads, his rosary, before the Tulsi plant. This Tulsi plant is considered to be sacred in Vaishnava tradition, and it's very auspicious to worship Tulsi and chant Hare Krishna mantra before her. So then we go to the fourth picture up there, and there we see what we see. There is something very strange. There is some snake, and then there is somebody laying on that snake, and then somebody is holding the feet of that person who is laying there. So this is Lord Vishnu. This is actually can be Karpadakasaya Vishnu or Ksirodakasaya Vishnu. There are different expansions of Vishnu. They are laying, for example, in milk ocean, and they are laying, resting on the Ananta snake, which is expansion of Lord Vishnu. And this snake's his belly is very soft and comfortable to stay, and also his many hoods, they are covering the head of the Lord Vishnu. And this person who is massaging the legs, she's the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi. And this process is Padasevana. It means worshipping the lotus feet. And the example person is this goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, who is engaged in worshipping the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. And Lakshmi Devi, she is pure devotee whose only interest is to please Lord Vishnu and offer devotional service unto him. So now we may think that we don't have possibility to do this process, devotional service, to go to milk ocean. We should have female form to go there and massage the lotus feet of Vishnu. But it is possible still in our present body, because this includes many other things. It includes also seeing the deity in the temple. It includes touching the lotus feet of the deity. And It includes the worship of the spiritual master Guru, massaging his lotus feet, and it also includes following the instructions of the spiritual master. When we accept spiritual master, we also accept at the same time all his instructions. For example, in yoga system, like Patanjali's system, what is the first limb there? There are 8 limbs. What is the first? First one is yama, niyama. These are rules and regulations that what we should do and what we should not do. Usually, yoga is nice. Everybody likes this yoga, it's nice, but usually they don't like this first part. There are rules and regulations that we should not do these things, but they are very nice. I like to do, don't want to do that. And things that we should do. And sometimes they are not nice at all. But if we want to advance in yoga or spiritual life, we should accept these things. Follow yama and niyama. And when we accept the spiritual master, we also have to accept his instructions. He said that you should do like this, and you should not do these things. And then we accept this. And this is Padasevana. This is the one limb devotional service. And only by doing that, we follow this Padasevana process. And it also includes the trying to please the spiritual master by fulfilling these orders. Spiritual master may order that you go to this city to do preaching work, and then we are doing that. That is Padasevana also. And Padasevana also, it includes the worship of Tulsi Devi, what we are speaking already. When we worship every morning Tulsi Devi, this Tulasi plant, this is also Padasevana. And then we go further. No, Hare Krishna. A moment, please. I pushed the wrong button. Oh no. So down there is the first picture from the left. It is Archana. And there is somebody before altar offering some prayers with folded hands. And this Archana is one very important part of the 9 limbs of devotional service in Vaishnava tradition. So we have altar, and there is a deity of Lord Krishna, or like we have Lord Gauranitai, Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appeared 500 years ago, or deity of Lord Vishnu, or some of his avatars, incarnations. And then there is certain worship, and this worship can be very complicated. It can be also very simple. It depends what we can do. Here we do, it's like a medium. It's not the most simple, but not complicated anyway. And this worship, it has 64 limbs. Now we don't go through all these 64, we don't have time for that. But the first one, What is the first one? The worship of the deity, Archana. It is ringing the bell in the doorway. When we enter the temple room, we ring the bell. That is the first ring of Archana. So everybody can do that. And if you don't want to do that, if it's too loud, you can knock with your finger. So in this way, we start Archana. Then second, we offer obeisances if we are not too proud. In some countries where they have a great history between the country, the people are a little bit puffed up, like I heard in England. And they told me, devotees in England, that for English people to come to temple, it's very difficult to bow down. Because they think that I'm a member of a great country, why I should bow down to anybody. In Finland it's not so, because Finnish people are more humble and bow down and then offer respect like this. And this is Archana. Then there are other things like offering prayers, singing, dancing, playing musical instruments, and hearing the lectures before the deity. What we are doing now is also Archana. And then there are things that these priests, they are doing there something on the altar, offering certain items there. And in the morning they are doing many things. They are bathing the deities and offering them clothes and food and so on. This all constitute Archana. And this Archana, because it is authorized, it is mentioned in Bhagavata Purana, is mentioned in Narada Pansaratra, is mentioned in many other Puranas. I think in original Vedas there are also something about this Archana. And Upanishads we find also. In this way it is authorized method. In Bhagavad Gita, okay, let's take one verse from Bhagavad Gita where it is said quite clearly. Krishna is explaining 18th chapter. Manmana bhava matbhakto makyatsi ma namaskuru mam evasyasi shakyam tere pratisane priyosi me. Always think of me, become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me, that you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. According to many authorities, this is interpreted that it means worship of the deity in the temple. This text is spoken by Krishna to Arjuna. And this means that this Archana is authorized method mentioned in Vedic literature. I say that because sometimes there is different opinions. Some followers of Vedas, they say that it's only fire sacrifice and nothing else. But obviously it is something else also because Archana is mentioned there. And then there are some other religions where in their own texts there are something that they interpret in a way that do not worship any image. Okay, if they want to do that, like that, that's their business, but our business is to worship Krishna on the altar. And this Archana, this exemplary person, here, I don't know exactly, is it somebody there, which we know, who is performing this archana in this picture. But exemplary person is Prithu Maharaj, who is mentioned also in these very literatures. He was a great king, emperor, Hastinapura. And not actually Hastinapura, sorry. This happened before. And he attained perfection by archana, worshipping the deity. If you want to know more about Maharaj Prithu, you have to read Puranas, like Bhagavata Purana, where it is explained. So, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, there is Archanam Vandanam, means offering prayers. So offering prayers to Supreme Lord is also one limb of devotional service. And these prayers, they can be taken from Vedic literatures like Puranas. We take there, then from there, and then we repeat before the deities. Or we can make them ourselves. They are self-made prayers. But if you take them from the Puranas, they are more safe, because they usually glorify the Krishna. But if we make them ourselves, then they might be tainted by our own desires. So we want things from Krishna. This is also right. It's not wrong, but it's not pure devotional service. It is said in Bhagavata Purana that whether one has many desires to fulfill in his life, or doesn't have any desires, or desires only some spiritual things, in any case, he should worship Krishna and ask them from Krishna. So Krishna fulfills all desires if we approach him in a proper way. And exemplary person who practiced Vandanam is Akrura, who is mentioned in Bhagavad Purana. He was the person who was sent to Vrindavan by Kansa, who was the king Mathura, to take Krishna and Balarama to Mathura. And this Akrura, he was uncle of Krishna. He went there by his cart to take Krishna and Balarama to Mathura, and he offered many prayers on the way. And when he saw Krishna and Balarama there in Vrindavan, he also there offered many prayers. And then he took Krishna and Balarama to Mathura, and what happened then? You have to read from Srila Prabhupada's Krishna book. But Akrura offered prayers also there. He offered prayers in the beginning, in the middle, and at the end. And in this picture, I think it's Dhruva Maharaj who is meditating in Lord Krishna in the forest. I'm not sure about that, but it looks like that. Dhruva Maharaj was a son of the king Uttanapara, who was banished to the forest by his stepmother. And there he meditated on Lord Krishna and offered prayers, and then he attained perfection. Now we don't have time anymore. What is there left? There are still 1, 2, 3. There is one. This next is Rasya, becoming a servant of Krishna. And the exemplary person is Hanuman, the servant of Lord Ram. And then the next is becoming a friend of Krishna, Sakya. An exemplary person is Arjuna, who on the battlefield, he was a great friend of Krishna, and Krishna instructed him. And then the last one is Atmanivedanam, offering everything, whole life to Krishna service. As an exemplary person is Pali Maharaj. Many of you remember Pali Maharaj. Lord Vishnu cheated him so that he had to give his kingdoms to everything to King Indra. And he became a great devotee by offering everything that he had to Lord Krishna. So time is over. Thank you very much for your attention. Now we learned something about 9 hymns and devotional service. And as you know, we mostly here we practice Saravanam and Kirtanam. But the others are also there, but these are most important now. And if you have some comments or questions, please ask something or say something.
Aika vähän aikaa, kun se on jo yliaikainen.
Joo, mutta kun hän ei ole vielä siellä.
Mä sen takia vähän viivyttelin.
No ei hyvänen aikaista tarvitse viivytellä.
Nopea kysymys, quick question.
Se on Artsalan.
Okay. If someone has, then please.
Anteeksi, mitä Pali Maharaj tarjosi herra Indralle rakentaisi Indralle, eikö se ollut joku taistelu eikä välillä vaan miten se oli ja sitten mitä tarkoittaa?
What Pali Maharaj offered to Indra, there was battle between them, but then Pali Maharaj defeated Indra, and after that this Vamanadeva, Lord Vishnu in the form of Vamanadeva came there and cheated this Pali Maharaj. He took all his possessions and gave them back to Indra. So thank you very much. Prabhupada ki jai.
Hanumanananda Prabhu ki jai.
Thank you very much, Hanumanananda Prabhu. Kiitos paljon Hanumanananda Prabhulle. Ja nyt meillä sitten alkaa tämä Sarati-seremonia, now we will start the Arati-ceremony. Ja sitten vielä viimeisen kerran on tuo Damodar-seremonia tässä Kartikakuun toiseksi viimeisenä päivänä. So then after that we have for the last time Damodar prayers and ceremony. This is the second last day of the Kartika Damodara month. Hare Krishna.
Shri Gauranitai Sundar ki jai. Yasomati Nandana Rajaparamana
Yasomati Nandana
Radha Vipina Purandara Ravindranathara Purabham Shivaya Suvasa Radhana Palana Surakula Nasa Radhana Palana Surakula Nanda Godana Govinda Madhava Namanita Taskara Govinda Madhava Namanita
Ananda Prabhu ki jai, Brahmacharya Sriva Haridas Thakur ki jai, Vensiga Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sriva Sari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Shri Sri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinatha Syamguna Radha Kunda Kirigodana ki jai, Sri Vrindavana Mathura Dhama ki jai, Sri Namadvipamaya Dhama ki jai, Sri Jagannath Puri Dhama ki jai, Gangamai ki jai, Yamunamai ki jai, Devi ki jai, Vasudevi ki jai, Brihatma Vidanga ki jai, Harinama Sankirtanaya ki jai, Gaura Premanandaya ki jai, Samveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Paramichaite Sri Krishna Sankirtanam ki jai, Sri Kartika Damodara Mas ki jai. Kaikki kunnia koko Bhaktalle, Hare Krishna, all glories to the of the devotees, Hare Krishna, kaikki kunnia koko Bhaktalle, Hare Krishna, kaikki kunnia Sri Gurulle, Sri Gaurangalle, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Nyt meillä on sitten tämä kartikakuukauden viimeinen Damodara ceremony ja Sunnuntaijuhlassa. Now we have the last Damodara ceremony of this Kartika Damodara Mass of 2023 in the Sunday Feast program. Meillä toki vielä huomenna on Kartika-kuukauden viimeinen päivä ja illalla on vielä sitten ceremonia. So we have still tomorrow the last day of Kartika Damodara Mass, and then we have the Damodara ceremony also. Eli huominen päivä on siis Sri Krishna Rasa Yatra Purnima. So tomorrow is Sri Krishna Rasa Yatra Purnima Day. Okei, mutta tässä voitte sitten jokainen, teillä on mahdollisuus pyhittää Herra Damodara Krishnalle tämmöinen dipa, eli tulilamppu oikealla kädellä pyörittämällä 3 kertaa esimerkiksi ympäri tuosta koko altarin vaikka. So you have the possibility to offer dipa, the lamp, the fire lamp, to Lord Damodara with your right hand in a clockwise manner, for example, 3 times around the altar. Ja teille tulee tarjoamaan atsmana vettä käsiin puhdistukseksi. Tulet laskemaan sitten alas nuo vesitipat ja sitten ottaa tuosta tuo lamppu ja sytyttää tuosta kynttilästä se lamppu. So you will be offered some atsmana water to your hands. You can just let the water go down and then take a lamp and light it from the candle, and then you can do the ceremony. Okay, Hare Krishna. Aloitetaan, let's start.
Please, dear devotees, there is a text you can find, and you can, after your offering, you can sit, don't need to stay. You can chant. Yeah, there is a text, you can take the text and chant together. Yeah, there is a text. Rameshwaram Sache Ananda Rupa Vasakundalam Gokule Pranamaya Rameshwaram Sache Ananda Rupa Rameshwaram Sache Ananda Rupa Vasakundalam Gokule Please, you can sit. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Eli tosiaan sunnuntaijuhlat jatkuvat. Tämä karttikkakuukausi päättyy huomenna, mutta sunnuntaijuhlat jatkuvat sitten ja meillä on uutena vuotena, se on sunnuntaijuhlapäivä tai sunnuntaipäivä, niin silloin meillä on myös erityisohjelmaa, täällä uuden vuoden ohjelmaa, josta sitten tarkemmin myöhemmin tuosta aikataulusta. So now the Damodara Kartika month will end tomorrow. Tomorrow is the last day, and then but our Sunday feast programs, they will continue normally, and the New Year's Eve we have, in addition to Sunday feast program, we have also a special program for the New Year. So we will let you know later on about our schedule for New Year, but all the Sunday feast programs will continue, even the Christmas Eve on Sunday. Joten tosiaan jopa myös tuo jouluaatto, niin sunnuntaina niin meidän sunnuntaijuhlat jatkuu. Ja tämän sunnuntaijuhlan on sponsoroinut Radha Patarai Pandey. Kiitos paljon. So this Sunday feast program is sponsored by Radha Patarai Pandey. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Haribol! Ja sunnuntaijuhlia on mahdollisuus sponsoroida. Tuo sunnuntaijuhlan sponsorointi on 400 €, joten tehkää sunnuntaijuhla vielä rikkaammaksi sponsoroimalla se ja hyödytte valtavasti siitä, että tarjoatte Herralle uhrattua Vishnu Prasadaa, Krishna Prasadaa, niin sitten monille vieraille. So the Sunday feast program, the sponsoring of the program is 400 €, and it's very auspicious. You will make the Sunday feast much richer by that, and it will be very beneficial, since you feed Krishna, Vishnu, Krishna Prasadam to everyone in the temple. So please do that. Joten tehkää tämä. Kiitos paljon. Vielä kerran Radha Patarai Pandey. Hare Krishna. Okei, Kabir on hänen poikansa ja Kabir toivoi sitä sunnuntaijuhlaa sponsoroitua, joten kiitos Kabir. So thank you Kabir, he actually wished the Sunday program to be sponsored. He is the son of Radha. Thank you very much Kabir. Haribol. Okei. Joten nyt meillä on tosiaan tämä juhlateria ja voin istua tähän temppelihuoneeseen tuohon viereiseen huoneeseen sitten ottamaan ja kunnioittamaan tätä prasadaa. So now we have the Sunday feast prasadam, so you can sit here in the temple room and the room over there to honor the prasadam. So let's do it like we always do, along the walls, and make 2 back-to-back lines here in the middle, and the same you can do in the next room over there. Joten istutaan tänne selkä seinää vasten ja sitten voitte tehdä 2 selkä